As you heard in the track that I just played over, we're going to talk about getting a lot of sustain with an overdriven sound and keeping it clean. So the idea of this course is to teach you how to get the guitar to sustain with just your left hand as much as possible. Now you hear a lot of talk about sustain, so I say that if you can't get it with your hands, it doesn't matter how much gear you buy. So you're going to learn a lot about how to touch the instrument, and it'll improve your intonation. It's going to also help you in getting your playing cleaner, because right now we're going to talk about right hand blocking. As you just heard, I played with a lot of overdrive, but I had a long, sustaining sound. It isn't about playing fast, it's about trying to make the guitar sing, like a vocalist or a horn. And you're going to have to learn to block the strings if you're going to play with that much gain, right? So this lesson is going to talk about how to block the strings with your picking hand. I don't want you to even go to lesson 2 until you have this lesson down. It's that important. And this is a tool that's kind of like an insurance policy. You can't always implement it in your playing, but it's a very important tool. I've talked about it in many of my videos, so if you've already heard this, well, you're going to hear it again. Let's start off with the concept of just having the first string ring open. You got to block all the rest of the strings. So as you see on the video, we have just the picking hand in the video. You're going to block the second string with your pinky, the third string with your ring finger, the fourth string with your middle finger, and then you're going to put the pick between the fifth and the sixth strings. You could put the pick in a downstroke or an upstroke position against the fifth string, and then the side of your thumb is going to lay against the sixth string. Now when you do this, do you see how I'll do it up where you can see me brushing the strings. See how I'm brushing the strings with my left hand? The only string that can ring is the first string. So even if I had a big overdriven sound, no noise. Okay, now you can hear the noise gate because I'm in a studio situation. I'm running direct with an 11 rack and I've got a lot of gain. So it's not the same as running through a speaker. I'm kind of close to the 11 rack, so the gate's going to shut down some of my notes. If you heard me playing in my living room through a rig with speakers, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. I'd get more sustain. So I want you to be aware of that. So get away from your amp when you run through the speakers. And you have to move around. I'm not able to move here because I'm sitting doing a video, right? But you're going to have to keep the string clean. So there, just the first string. So you want to make sure that you can just put your hand in place there. Okay, now my left hand, you can't see it in the video. I've actually got my fingers across the string, so I'm muting right there, right? So you want to practice coming in with this picking hand blocking, taking your hand away, coming in, back and forth. You see that? Until you can actually practice just smacking the strings like that. Now I'll take my left hand off the strings and listen very closely. You're not hearing anything, right? If I come in, if I do that slapping thing, I can get harmonics and all kind of overtones and stuff, right? But I want you to practice doing this. Now the secret is that I'm coming in, blocking the strings, but then I'm lightly and slowly and carefully removing my fingers so that I don't brush a string or anything like that, okay? So that's your first exercise. And if you're getting that overtone, block in different places. This guitar has 2 humbuckers, so I've got space in the middle. I don't have to worry about hitting the middle pickup with my fingernails because I play classical guitar. But depending on your instrument, just get comfortable and try it in different places. Okay, so that's the first part of this lesson. Make sure you can do that, both with the left hand in place, blocking the strings, and without. And see if you can get it just as clean, just as quiet. All right, so let's say you wanted just the second string to ring. And by the way, we're going to approach this course working string by string. Each of the 6 strings have a different feel, a different way of sustaining. I really think of them as different instruments. After you've gotten to where you can dampen all 5 strings and leave the first string open with this hand position, then start moving down toward the ground. Here's what I mean. The way we were doing it, you had your little finger on the second string, and then you just worked sort of from the second string down, right? And your pick and your thumb were dampening the 2 lowest strings, the E and the A strings. Move everything 1 string toward the floor. That means your little finger's not going to be used, so you have them wiggling it around. And then your pick's going to be either in a downstroke or an upstroke position against the 4th string, and the side of your thumb is dampening the A and E strings. So you got the same technique in the sense that you're only letting 1 string ring, but you've got a different blocking technique here. You're just in a different place. Then move one more string down toward the ground. What's going to happen now is your middle and your ring finger and your pinky are going to be the free fingers. Your middle finger is going to dampen the second string. You can see that. I'll get my hand out of the way. And then your thumb and the corner of your wrist back here, the heel of your hand, your wrist, are dampening. Okay? Now you hear a little difference there, don't you? It's not as clean a dampening. I'm actually getting a little bit of a palm mute because of how I'm hitting back here. There are times when you're going to use this, depending upon what you're playing. And remember, we're putting everything under a microscope, sort of like freeze frame, where you want to keep it clean for a particular move. Once you get this technique down, you'll be able to implement it as you need to. All right, and then the final position we're going to go with would be with the pick against the second string. Again, either an upstroke or downstroke, and practice it both ways. The side of the thumb dampening some strings, and then the heel of the hand. Okay, so a quick review. We started off using middle, ring, and pinky on the fourth, third, and second strings respectively, and the pick and the thumb took care of the bottom two strings. That's the cleanest, isn't it? Absolutely no noise going on. We don't even get a thump because you're really able to block the strings away from the bridge. Then you moved down to the ground, meaning your pinky became free. And then you moved another notch down. Now your ring and pinky are free, and then you're going on over. See, now when you really listen to this, you hear a difference in this subtle thing of dampening. And when you got that much gain going on, there are times when you want things to kind of ring or hum a little bit. There are times when you don't. All right, so that's what happens when you want just the first string to ring. If you want just the second string to ring, you've already learned that position because it would be where the pick was in an upstroke position against the third string, and the side of your thumb and the heel of your hand are taking care of all the lower strings. Then you simply come in with the middle finger, or perhaps the ring finger, depending upon what you're doing. But I would suggest work from index finger over. So your middle finger is going to block the first string. Second string's free. Okay? Then, if you want just the third string to ring, you move toward your face. Move your hand up to the ceiling. Now your middle and your ring fingers are blocking the first two strings. Okay? Then, if you want just the fourth string to ring, we're back to our original posture in the sense that you're using the little finger, the ring, and the middle, but instead of being on the second, third, and fourth strings, they're on the first, second, and third. Picks in an upstroke position against the fifth string. Bend your thumb a little bit. And that's a real good clean dampening for the fourth string. Then when you want the fifth string to ring, well, we run out of fingers, don't we? You're going to have a problem there because the first string is going to ring open. But you'll be doing some things with your left hand, with your fretting hand, and you actually can dampen the strings above, in terms of pitch, above the one you're playing with your left hand. And we can't have perfection here. It's a guitar. Then ultimately, if you want the sixth string to be the only one to ring, again, put your fingers on the top three strings, the pick's against the fourth string, your thumb's touching the fifth string, and you got the sixth string clear. Now, I said it earlier, I don't want you to go to the second lesson until you are quite comfortable with this. It may feel quite foreign to your hands, especially if you have some unorthodox right hand positions and you're used to doing different things. And I'm not negating the concept of playing without dampening. There are times for that, and this does kind of change your phrasing and it limits you. But think of it as a tool in your big tool rollaway, your big toolbox. It's 6 feet high. It's one of the tools that you're going to use, so get it under your hands so when you need it, you got it there. Okay? So practice this both with a clean and an overdriven sound.